Welcome to Coin Explorer. Imagine reaching into your pocket and pulling out a simple 50-cent coin. Most people would barely glance at it before spending it or tossing it into a jar of loose change at home. After all, a half-dollar coin seems ordinary and almost forgotten in everyday life. But what if that small coin, quietly resting in your hand, could actually be worth an astonishing $898,000? It may sound unbelievable at first, yet within the fascinating world of coin collecting, stories like this are what keep collectors searching through old drawers, coin jars, and inherited collections. Sometimes an ordinary coin becomes extraordinary simply because of its condition, its rarity, or a remarkable combination of details created during the minting process. One such coin that has captured attention among collectors is the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar. At first glance, it looks just like millions of other half-dollars produced in the United States during the 1970s. But under closer inspection, certain examples of this coin have revealed characteristics that make them incredibly desirable to collectors and numismatic experts. To understand why a coin like this can attract such attention, we first need to travel back in time to the history behind the Kennedy half-dollar itself. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, shortly after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The United States Mint created the coin as a tribute to the late president, and the design quickly became one of the most recognizable images ever placed on American currency. Millions of Americans began saving these coins as keepsakes, which made them somewhat scarce in everyday circulation during the early years. The design of the Kennedy half-dollar is both elegant and symbolic. On the front side, known as the obverse, the coin features a detailed portrait of President John F. Kennedy facing left. Above his head appears the word Liberty, while the national motto, "In God We Trust," sits just below the portrait. The year of minting is displayed beneath the design. On the reverse side of the coin, the design shows the presidential seal, a powerful American eagle with its wings spread wide. In one claw, the eagle holds arrows representing strength and readiness for defense. In the other claw, it holds an olive branch, symbolizing peace. Surrounding the eagle are stars representing the states of the United States, along with the words United States of America and half-dollar. By the time 1974 arrived, the United States Mint had already produced millions of Kennedy half-dollars for circulation. In fact, the minting process was designed for speed and efficiency. Huge industrial machines struck thousands of coins every minute. The goal was simple: produce enough coins to keep the economy moving smoothly. However, this high-speed production created a surprising side effect. Because coins were being struck so quickly, it became extremely difficult for every single coin to leave the mint in perfect condition. Small imperfections could occur during the striking process. Sometimes coins would receive slightly weaker strikes, while others might pick up tiny marks or scratches when they collided with other coins during handling and transportation. This means that although millions of 1974 Kennedy half-dollars were produced, only a very small number survived in truly exceptional condition. And that is where the story becomes interesting. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin that looks almost brand new, even after decades, can be dramatically more valuable than one that shows wear from circulation. To measure this, professional grading companies carefully examine coins using magnification and assign them a numerical grade. These grades typically range from 1 to 70, with higher numbers representing better condition. A coin graded near the very top of this scale is considered extremely rare because almost no coins survive in such pristine shape. When experts examine coins at this level, they look for extremely fine details. They check the sharpness of the design, the clarity of the lettering, and the smoothness of the coin's surface. Even the smallest scratch or mark can affect the final grade. For a coin like the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar, achieving an exceptionally high grade is incredibly difficult. Remember, these coins were originally made for everyday circulation, not for collectors who would preserve them carefully. Yet, occasionally, something unusual happens. A coin may leave the mint with an unusually strong strike, meaning every detail of the design appears sharp and well-defined. If that coin also avoids contact marks and survives decades without damage, it can become a standout example among millions of ordinary coins. This is exactly what happened with one remarkable 1974 Kennedy half dollar that caught the attention of collectors and professional graders. When experts carefully studied this coin, they noticed several impressive characteristics. The design appeared unusually crisp, with sharp lines and well-defined features. The surfaces looked remarkably clean compared to most coins from the same year. Even the smallest elements of the eagle and Kennedy's portrait showed strong detail. Because of these qualities, the coin stood out as one of the finest known examples of its kind. In rare situations like this, coins can become extremely desirable at auction. Collectors who specialize in high-grade coins often compete fiercely for the very best examples available. These collectors are not simply buying a piece of metal, they're buying history, rarity, and a unique place within the numismatic record. When a coin becomes known as one of the finest examples ever graded, its value can rise dramatically. This is how certain coins, even coins originally worth just 50 cents, can eventually attract attention with values discussed in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Of course, it's important to understand that examples reaching values close to $898,000 are extraordinarily rare. The vast majority of 1974 Kennedy half dollars remain worth only their face value or slightly more to collectors. However, the possibility that a rare example might exist somewhere is what keeps the excitement alive in coin collecting. Every day, collectors search through old coin collections, estate boxes, and jars filled with spare change. They examine coins under bright lights and magnifying glasses, hoping to spot something unusual. Sometimes they're looking for mint marks, tiny letters that indicate which mint produced the coin. Other times they're searching for strong strikes, beautiful surfaces, or coins that appear unusually well preserved. Even small differences can make a coin more interesting to collectors. For example, a coin with exceptionally sharp detail or a flawless surface might stand apart from thousands of average examples. When those features combine with rarity and high professional grading, the coin can become a prized addition to a collector's collection. This is why the story of the 1974 Kennedy half dollar continues to capture the imagination of coin enthusiasts. It reminds us that history often hides in the most ordinary objects. A simple coin that once passed through grocery stores, vending machines, and bank counters might later become a treasured collectible. And perhaps the most fascinating part of coin collecting is that discoveries can happen anywhere. Some people find interesting coins in inherited collections from family members. Others discover them while sorting through rolls of coins from banks. Occasionally, remarkable pieces appear in flea markets, estate sales, or old coin albums that have been forgotten for decades. Every coin has a story. Some traveled across the country through countless transactions. Others were saved by collectors who recognized their potential. And a few, like exceptional high-grade examples, managed to survive the passage of time in remarkable condition. So, the next time you see a half-dollar coin, you might look at it a little differently. Instead of seeing just 50 cents, you might see a small piece of American history, a coin that carries the legacy of President John F. Kennedy and decades of economic life in the United States. Most of these coins will remain ordinary pieces of currency, but every once in a while, a single coin stands out from the rest and reminds us why collectors remain fascinated by the hidden possibilities of everyday change. Who knows? Somewhere out there, another remarkable coin could still be waiting to be discovered. And for collectors, that possibility is what makes the search so exciting. If you enjoyed learning about the 1974 Kennedy half dollar and the surprising world of rare coins, make sure to check the full video linked in the description, where we explore even more details about how collectors identify valuable coins. You might never look at pocket change the same way again.